Okay, today we're going to start with the dollar index. So that's how many people do you have? About 85 already. Okay. So last week we pointed out this 3 months fair value gap. If I just go quickly to that level, you're going to see price filled in the fair value gap, which is this area. You can see our price. Remember, I mentioned that this particular candle, a candle with no wick, has a lot of liquidity line on it. So that was a high probability environment for price to come up here. And also we had this particular inversion gap here, right from this point, and then you can see how price came to it and filled it nicely with about just maybe 2 or 3 pips. I think you can see that from here. Okay, with a couple of few pips, and then we are rejecting off from there. So this was quite an interesting area. I even made a video on this. I think I posted it on Twitter or something like that, on X here. So we had a good rejection from this area on the weekly time frame. I see most of you marking this out as a CRT. It's possible that we can be having a CRT. Maybe we're now in for a deeper correction, right? And this should actually be a CRT based on the fact that price is reacting up from this key level. Okay. So, when you're trading CRTs, what you have to do is your first target is going to be the 50% of the CRT. So which means if we are interested to trade this candle as a CRT, we're going to be targeting the 50% first, which is this where you can have this dot, where you have these dotted lines. All right, so that's the center of our CRT. That will be our first target. Then your last target will be the high of the CRT. So for now, just looking at this candle, how do you call this candle? What type of a candle is this? All right, this is a bullish contraction. Okay, this is a bullish contraction. It's a contraction candle, but it's a bullish one, as it tells us the price will likely want to move higher. So if we want to divide the wick of this candle maybe into two to have something like that, like this. Now, if we should go down to the lower time frames and we see something at this week, the 50% of this week, like a key level, it will be a good area for us to maybe expect price to open, trade down to it, and then start to push higher. Remember, we are bullish, and even first, if our first target based on CRT is this 50%, if we are trading based on this fair value gap, this will also be like our first target. Maybe this 50% of CRT will be our second, and then the end of it will be our third, right? So, but this one, if price really wants to be bullish, we'll meet up with this one as fast as possible. So weekly is heavily bullish after we even close back from this candle and even this one as well. So this is a CRT within a CRT. I think I made a lesson on this. This is a CRT, and also this is a CRT. So this one here is a high probability one, and then this might be secondary based on its huge expansion. So let's go to the daily and see how this looks like. All right, so on the daily time frame, this is, remember, this is a 50% of that of the candle I pointed out. Okay, and now we have, if we look closely here, we see this candle. So we are having some inside bars within the range of this candle here, this one. So this can become our new CRT, all right, a bearish CRT to sponsor a bullish CRT. Okay. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean. So this can become our CRT, this particular candle, to sponsor higher prices, which means that we can have price move lower, take the low of that candle before we expand higher. Now, this will maybe confirm if we have some key level here on the 4-hour time frame to support that idea. But for now, the daily is already bullish, right? Even if price wants to push lower before it continues higher, we have this level as our invalidation. All right, that's our invalidation. So when you have your invalidation on the daily, it doesn't mean price cannot still sell maybe 1 day or two before moving higher. But you have your invalidation. Price could even sell right down to these lows, but still continue higher, which without violating your invalidation. So this, if price wants to sell, this will now be based on lower time frame structural liquidity. All right. If price is to sell more, taking this low, it will be based on the lower time frame structural liquidity. Maybe if we have some inefficiencies to be filled or some fresh order blocks to be respected around this area, then it will cause this to be a good CRT. But for now, let's focus on this. Yeah, I think if this is to be a good CRT, I would like it if we have a key level on the 4 hour below that candle slow. Let's check. Let's go now to 4 hour time frame. All right, now on the 4 hour time frame, you can see that this is the first pullback after we had this massive push to the upside. So this can become, this can be likely an inducement. All right. Now, if this is an inducement, we have this balanced price range here, this one, which aligns also with this candle. So this candle can be our order block. Take note, this candle, this one. All right, that candle can be our order block. It should have been this one, but price already traded back to it a couple of times. So this is the lone candle here that we have. See price not actually mitigating. So this is a nice area for us to expect at least a good reaction from. And I'll be very happy if price wants to do that. If you can get some swing buys around that area, you can actually hold it right back up to these areas. All right, you can see that the 50% of the weekly CRT is also sitting at a very nice place, which we have this inefficiency and these real typical highs, and also it will be retesting this this support here that was broken, right? And probably to become a small resistance, I don't know, but for now this is what we have in here now. DXY, I would love to see price trade a little bit lower. Take out this CRT low. Okay, it's not yet the CRT because price has not taken the low yet and closed above it. So for now, we can just assume it to be our inducement. Okay, we can just use it to be our inducement, and then if price on the daily now takes the low, close back within, we cannot treat it as a CRT. That will be now a confirmed CRT. All right. So we want to see how money trades. Probably, maybe we can take out all this trend line liquidity that we have built up here. This liquidity, okay. We take out that trend line liquidity right to the origin of it, and then we tap into that area. From there, we can push higher. So that's my view on DXY. And also, we will need confirmations here to buy. If not, because price can still want to trade lower, right? Everything is just probability. You can still say that because a lot of people, I mean, some other people, they have this as a break of structural downside, and they're having sales from here. All right, they have sales from this area, and their take profit is on this low. So before we buy here, we need to have good confirmations, because as you can see, there is no proper shift in market structure yet. All right, yeah, there's no proper shift in market structure yet. So we need confirmations yet before we buy. All right, so that's for DXY. I think now Euro USD will be easy for us. It's pretty much just the same thing. On the weekly, we have the weekly fair value gap is still there. Price also traded into the 3 months fair value gap that we spotted. Everything is in place. We have that fair value gap. We also have this to be a CRT. And if we want to also trade the center of this one, this first CRT, 50% of it, we'll have it down here. On the daily, the 50% of it falls nicely within this fair value gap. So that's a nice area also to target as our CRT low. And also on this particular time frame, I mean on the Euro USD daily, we also have this candle where we spotted on DXY that could possibly be a CRT. And looking at it here on Euro USD, sometimes price might not want to take it take the high of it. This is, we call this a marabuzo. So sometimes price might not take the high of this candle. So you have to be watchful. Maybe we'll create some SMT around this area. Okay. While DXY is taking the low of its own CRT, Euro USD might want to give us an SMT, but we really want to see price take the high of it if 4 hour has a key level above that area. So let's go to the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, it's still the first pullback after that. And then we have this fair value gap here, slightly above that inducement. So it's this is just exactly what some of you sent to me. I like that. It's a very nice key level. Also, with this rejection block, this can be a very nice QMR. All right, so it's a very good key level. We want to wait for confirmations there before we engage, as maybe price might want to come back up again to this other block here. If we look at it on the line chart, you will see that we have that area as a mitigation. So price might still want to come up to that area, though I will not want to see that because we already did. So we'll just wait for confirmations here, and if we're selling, we are holding right down to this area, to the 1 week fair value gap. Take note, we might still be saying like this, and before the weekly before the market opens, we just have a heavy bearish candle, just keep pushing. You guys know how Mondays have been trading lately. You just keep pushing, and so that's it. All right, so that's the same thing we're expecting on GU. Let's look at let's look at GBP USD now. GBP USD actually already GBP USD took out the inducement high that we were looking at on Euro USD. Can you guys imagine? So this could have been like an SMT for us to consider, but let's see how it looks like on the weekly. All right, so on the weekly time frame, we don't have anything on GU to be like a CRT. Price doesn't close well, but then we can want to target this fair value gap here. So we don't have anything like confluence like a CRT on that. And on GU, we have already done what we were expecting on Euro USD to do by taking that candle's high. So probably that one I want to be CRT for GU. I don't really know, but GU is really complicated. We have this low here. Okay. More lower prices. We're expecting more lower prices. Since we're expecting DXY to sell before buying, it's the same thing that we can expect for this guy. If you see something like this, those that are trading patterns, whether it's how do you guys call this one? How do you guys call this again? Ascending triangle. Which has to take 3 hours. Oh. Well, GU did what we're expecting Euro USD to do now, okay? So it's just like this is what we're expecting on Euro USD to sell above this high. And GU has done that already. So maybe this week we're going to see how GU will be trading. Maybe you will play around with an SMTY Euro USD move up to also do the same. All right, before we see if we're gonna go down. But then if Euro USD is pushing higher and this guy also wants to push higher, we have there is a small fair value gap here. This one, and then this other block too. Okay, we have this fair value gap and this other block. So if G still wants to push higher, we have this other block to at least hold him down. All right, while Euro USD also sell goes back lower. Okay, you guys can see the SMT that we had here. if you look at Euro USD, you will notice that when this guy was making a low, when this guy was making a lower low, this guy was making a higher high. So that's where we're having that SMT. And like I said here, if you look closely, you will notice that this fair value gap, as we're expecting GU to go up to, or Euro USD to go up to before selling, GU already did that here. So that's the SMT we are talking about, all right? But then if Euro USD wants to go back up again, then GU will want to go back up to that fair value gap I spotted as well before selling. But we're going to watch out for this GU very closely because it might want to play some games with us, all right? So GU, we're going to watch it closely from that this fair value gap here. Maybe price might still want to take out this high, give us the high of the week, and also maybe to fully mitigate this now as another block. But though I would not really want to short directly from here because of this fair value gap here. This other block did not actually do anything. It did not fill liquidity, no clear out liquidity. So it's not a proper one for us to want to leverage on. So for me personally, I'll prefer this other block here, all right, which has to do with this fair value gap. So that's what I will be looking for on GU. And from there, we can be selling down to this fair value gap. All right, so that's GBP USD. Let's look at gold. All right, so on gold, we had price bought right up to the 3,500 we mentioned on our weekly analysis the last time. And now we are still bearish. Let's see. We have been selling for quite some time now. Price traded back up to this volume gap. And it's playing around there. Now, if you look at gold at the moment, you can see that after filling this fair value gap, price did not want to close above. But this does not mean price must be going higher, right? Because I spotted out the low of this candle at and even this one. You can see this is a no wick candle and it has a lot of liquidity. So with gold, I think I'll be bearish on gold from this volume gap plus this other block. We can hold shorts from there down to this no wick candle. All right, we can hold sells from there down to this no wick candle, which has liquidity, and we can also treat this as a CRT, which has already happened already. So more lower prices on gold. I think we already took out this high, so we might have price. Might have price wants to selling from that area. I think we might want to see gold sell off from this breaker here, which has to do with this fair value gap. So we're going to see how it opens, and I would love to see some bearish momentum coming in from this area down to this area here. And also we'll be retesting this resistance here that was broken. Okay, so more sales on gold. Maybe from there now we can continue higher. Maybe something like this. We play around here. We can play around here, stop hunts people, and then come lower. We test that area, and then we continue back up. This will be like inducement into this breaker here, also has a fair value gap. Okay, so that's for gold. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently trading at 94,000, and I think we are moving higher. All right, the setup that we spotted last time still going up. We closed above this high, which we aligned, and are still bullish. Nothing much for now. I want to see how price close above this candle, this high. Maybe we'll then retest it and we'll continue higher. I think we're going back up to this all-time high for now. Why? Because when you look at this area here, this is a trend line liquidity. So price will want to clear the trend line liquidity right up to the end of it, right? We don't have any clean key level here that might want to stop price, maybe unless this one. Though I don't think the whole price based on this liquidity that we are putting here. So we're still bullish on Bitcoin, and based on the daily time frame, price had already filled this fair value gap here, which on the 4-hour is probably a stop point. So we clear liquidity under this low, and we are moving higher. So I think we should continue higher from there. Yeah. Let's look at GBP GPY. GBP GPY. You guys remember last week we had there was some news that happened, and then it took us out on a buy trade that we're having on this particular trade, and at the end of the day we still bought so heavily, and yeah, this was a very nice entry with this other block with a couple of inducements to it, and as it stands now, probably we might, because now, for example, we looked at GPY, Japanese yen. All right, Japanese yen index is so bullish. Japanese yen index is really bullish. So we can have it maybe drop down to this area and continue to buy. If that happens, if Japanese yen index wants to continue buying, that means Japan yen is going to be strengthened. And if yen is strengthened, it's going to affect GBP GPY. If yen is strengthened more than pounds, then we're going to be having a sell. And if that sell is to happen, we're going to have it from this fair value gap here. Okay, we're going to have it from that fair value gap there. So we can expect some sells back down like that. And then we'll finally take out this lows here. Yeah. All this trend line liquidity here. Okay, you can see that trend line liquidity. We can finally take it out right down to this lows. So yen is actually showing a lot of momentum to move to the upside. So if that happens, we're going to really have some good buys if that happens. Remember also, this is we have a rejection block here. This one. Maybe we can have a spike there like that, and we sell off. All right, so GBP GPY, we have that sell opportunity. We have this volume gap here. You can have some sales from there, and price to continue lower. Which asset should I? Okay, we are supposed to check. We're going to check fundamentals. Okay, let's go to US 100. Oh my God, US 100 gave this beautiful setup. Like, man, this was so crazy, guys. If you look at this closely, you're going to notice something here. If you look at, okay, now let me ask this question. Have we seen something similar like this in any other pair that we have discussed already? Have you guys seen anything similar here on this chart in any pair that we have discussed already? So in a situation when yen and pounds are more strengthened, what happens to the GBP? If yen and pounds are strengthened the same, it will be ranging now. It will just be ranging. It will be ranging. One pair strengthen now more than the other, you will not take a trend. Okay. You guys should look this closely. There's something here that we have discussed already. Let me go back to the chart on it, you see. Now, look at this again. Look at this candle and this one. Look at these two candles, 1, 2, all right? And then you look at this one. 1, 2. Look at these two candles. Now, this is the exact same thing that happened on DXY here. How price traded, gave us this flagship reversal, gave this inside candle. We traded within the candle for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then by 6 day, we took the low and closed back within. That was a CRT to continue higher. Now on DXY, we have traded 2 days already within this candle. All right, 2 days already within this candle. So there's a probability that if we take out the low finally, this is going to be the best CRT that you can ever see. All right. Best CRTs are CRTs that have inside bars, because with this inside bars is building a lot of liquidity. People are buying and selling. People are buying and selling. A lot of people are buying within this range. It's just like the market does something like this. Let's say this is your range low and this is your range high. And then it's ranging within this area. People are just buying, people are selling. Then what happens? The market takes out the low to go back to the high, something like that. All right. So when the market is creating candles within a previous range, it's generating a lot of liquidity. That's why that's what we saw here on the US 100. CRT high, CRT low. In fact, this was a very nice setup, so clean. I think I've been sharing it with you guys. We started right from here and then boom to the upside. So looking at it now, we are still bullish. I think we are going back to the all-time high. This setup was a nice one. I think we are going back to this high. All right, and I also heard about some rumors of trades happening between India and which country like that. So we have to be very vigilant. If there is anything like war, it's going to affect these guys. All right, it's going to be affecting US 100, S&P, and all those things. So I think S&P should be the same. So if we are bullish on this guy, we have this as a support level. If you look at it like that, maybe yeah, we have a support. We have this one that can become our support area. Price already reacted from it, yeah, and we already filled this gap, so we're still bullish. Maybe we'll have another bounce again into that zone to fill this fair value gap, and then our target will be this. First will be this one. This will be our first target. Second, this one. Okay, so US 100, we are bullish from there to these highs. I think we have checked the major ones. CAD-JPY is the same thing. We have been ranging on CAD-JPY for quite some time now. Yeah. Since we're expecting bullishness on the yen, we will likely also want to see CAD-JPY dropping more. Okay. This was a monthly fair value gap that was filled here, so there's a likelihood that price will be taking out this low, and you had a major resistance here that was broken and it has not been retested. So we have this can become an inducement now to this entire area. You can call it an area of demand or whatever. All right, so more lower prices on Japanese yen on CAD-JPY too. All right, holding a trade buy on S&P 500. Nice, that's good. USD JPY, we just left with about. Let's just check USD JPY. Okay, we have checked. Okay, all right. A lot of people USD JPY. That should be the last pair that I'm checking. USD JPY. We are expecting JPY to be bullish. JPY is bullish. DXY is bullish. What do you guys think? We are tied up in this heavy. But we have this low here. Take note that we are expecting some short sales on DXY, right? Which means this low can likely be taken out. It's a possibility. And if that's to happen, maybe we'll fill this fair value gap for now. So Japanese yen, we're still bullish. And we have these lows here to be taken out. So, I mean, we are still bearish. Okay. That's for yen index, Japanese yen. Watch out for this high to be taken out. This one. That high will be taken out, and then maybe we'll now have this area as a breaker. Okay, for more lower prices. That's USD JPY. So let's quickly look at Forex Factory. All right, so Forex Factory, we have what's that one? Remove this thing. Let's go to the calendar. So Monday we have news on CAT. We have news on Canadian dollar, federal elections. Tuesday we have 3 p.m. We have US dollar. We have job openings on US dollar. Wednesday we have CPI. CPI on Australian dollar. Manufacturing PMI on CNY. We have Euro USD, same on Wednesday, German preliminary CPI. And same Wednesday again, we have at 1:30 GDP on CAD, advanced GDP on USD, and then unemployment cost on USD. Thursday, we have GPY, which is policy rates, monetary policy statement on Japanese yen. That's Thursday. We have 1:30 again on Thursday, unemployment claims. Friday, we have non-farm payroll. Wow. This is a very interesting week. You guys have to be very careful, okay? A week that has to do with unemployment rate and non-farm payroll, CPI. Saturday, parliamentary elections on Saturday in Australia. Okay? So this is quite an interesting week. It's quite an interesting week. As you are trading, let me just show you guys something. Most of the time, if we're going to be having an NFP that is going to expand, right? There's a possibility that Monday can start maybe with some consolidation, and then Thursday manipulate to a key level, and then Friday expands with NFP. All right, something like that. But it's always a structure. Before the news comes out, the market would have already given you the structure. It might just be you not seeing it properly to understand that this is where the market really wants to go. All right, but meanwhile, before the news comes out, the market will tell you where it wants to go to. Sometimes you can have Monday, you will just expand to a key level and then start a reversal, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Friday will come and then continue with the reversal. It's just before whatever happens, all right, the candles will tell you the story. So I don't want to make the video long. I'm going to be updating you guys on our community. All right, you guys should stay tuned. And I'll be sending you guys daily setups and stuff like that. And also about our prop firms, if you haven't gotten your account yet, do so, as we're going to be sending out links. And make sure that you inbox me. All right, once you get your account, inbox me and I'll add you to the Discord server where I'll be monitoring how you're trading and I'll be sharing you guys with setups. Okay. All right, that should be it. See you guys next week. I wish you the best and good luck in your trading.